Hello, my name is Marina Piccinini. I am going to be coming to play with the Hong Kong Philharmonic in May. And right now I am in Hong Kong for the very first time, so thank you. It's a very great pleasure to be here for the first time. I love Hong Kong. I've been hearing a lot about the orchestra over many years. My husband has played with them under Edo de Waard. Of course, there's the incredibly exciting news of the new music director coming in, from Sweden, and I think that says a lot about the orchestra. It's going to be brilliant. I've had very good fortune to meet and play with principal violist Andrew Ling, who's also performing in the Chamber Music Festival. So I know that you have a great principal violist. The new concertmaster is also somebody I know from the United States, Igor. I know he's fantastic. And I also met the principal cellist. So I can say that from the few individuals that I have met, I think this is an exciting orchestra and it's going to be a thrill to play. The IBERT Concerto is a piece that is very, very famous, of course, for flute players. It is one of the high points of the repertoire. For many reasons, it's very brilliant. So it bubbles. It's like champagne almost. But it also is very, very beautiful. And one of the great, for me, interesting things about this concerto are the possibilities of tonal colors. It's like a painting. Impressionist painting by Monet. One color goes into the other color, and it's very sensual, very flowing, very beautiful, many different shades. So there are opportunities for a lot of poetry. At the same time, there is this very brilliant and bright attitude. So it's a challenge not just to the technique, it's a challenge to the ear and to the imagination. And so it is very famous for flutists. Of course, the name IBERT is less known in the world when it's competing with Schumann, Beethoven, Mozart. But the flute thrives very much on French music. It's a kind of writing that is very poetic and suits the flute very much, and actually has a lot of connection to Asian music as well. So it's a very special piece, I think, to play in Hong Kong. I think when the audience is listening, they should just stay very open to the feelings and the spontaneous emotion that is coming at the moment. It's not, they don't have to try to be very serious or intellectual about it. It's a series of impressions that are coming, I think, to the audience. It starts very dazzlingly with a big run, and suddenly the audience should feel themselves pulled into this brilliant pyrotechnics, almost like fireworks at the beginning. The whole first movement is almost like fireworks. But in between, when these different elements come in where there's a sound that changes, they should stay open to it. And one of the wonderful things about the writing, which I think audiences will appreciate, is that although the flute is the soloist, the storyteller, so to speak, there are conversations from the flute solo into different parts of the orchestra. So sometimes the flute and the clarinet have things that they play together, or the flute and the viola are playing together, or even the double bass, or the bassoon. So there are many different conversations that happen, and for the audience to listen to not just the feelings that they get, but that kind of conversation, what is going, who's playing to whom, and back and forth, then it's more like chamber music as well. And I think that's a way to appreciate just the moment and let the different impressions wash at the moment. Hans Graf and I have collaborated, in fact, many times in different repertoire, including the IBERT Concerto. We were on a European tour together at one point. I have known him for many years now, and we have developed, I think, what started as a professional relationship, which was wonderful, has turned into a bigger, also personal friendship. He lives in Salzburg and I live in Vienna, so we're not even very far from each other, and we enjoy many of the same things. Hans Graf is a very profound musician. He's a very strong person and personality. Has wonderful flexibility as well, because although he is himself of Germanic descent, I mean, he's Austrian, he has studied in Russia and speaks Russian and understands that kind of world. He also is fluent in French and also understands French music, modern music. We have also collaborated on a new work, a world premiere with the Boston Symphony. So he is so flexible with many things, but to everything he does, he brings an impeccable musicality, very high standard, and a very strong statement. So it's for me always every time I play with Hans Graf, I learn something new. Let me clarify. I am a disciple, so I'm the 36th generation. My Shifu is 35th, and my Shigong, who's also connected, is 34th, Shi Yangming, in New York. And my Shifu is in Vienna. It's the temple are connected, and they're both connected to Shaolin. In fact, my teacher is coming from Shaolin. So I am a disciple and therefore the 36th generation, but I am not a master. I'm very much a student, and I will always be a student, and I will never be a master. For me, though, Kung Fu and music are one thing. There is no difference to me at all. In fact, Kung Fu is everything, music is everything. The way you approach learning in one and in the other is the same, really. Of course, we say that Kung Fu is active meditation. I think playing the flute is inward meditation, it's music meditation. But the discipline, the philosophy of how you live your life, how you face your life, how you stay open, always learning, always more, always getting better, always more chi. This is, I think, very, very similar from one to the other. And I think I was attracted to the Kung Fu because of that. I saw how it was a different side of the same thing that I'm doing, but of course a very healthy side. And I admit that when I first started studying Kung Fu, it was very much just for the physical exercise. I wanted to have something with a lot of strength, a lot of speed, a lot of intensity. But as I started doing it more, it's impossible to separate the training and the learning from the Chan Buddhism and the whole idea of exactly this is your life, this is how you live your life, how you treat others, how they will treat you, how you try not to be afraid. And so it has changed. When that started happening and I had been doing it enough, I realized I wanted to really dedicate myself more and become a disciple. I will never fly through the air like Jet Li, though. I let myself do that on the flute. I'm coming back in May to play with the Hong Kong Philharmonic, and I am looking forward to spending more time here.